and NNPC refinery is a violence against women, children, and Nigeria as a society.
We have to first clean the house before you bring in new equipment. Because if you bring in new equipment, you're bringing it into a dirty house. Who are the partners?
The refineries, hold on. Let me be done, baby.
Okay.
The refineries are literally crashing the economy. Look at 3 billion. Imagine if it was put into infrastructure, if it was put into health, if it was put into education.
With
Do
proper
you know
administration.
what we will be doing? Even without proper administration, you will see it. So guess what? The refineries are a horrible bride with bad manners that we must keep in our house.
This is Soup Business Landscape.
Now, the National Petroleum Company Limited has set June 2026 as a new target for selecting technical partners to revamp Nigeria's state-owned refineries after years of stalled rehabilitation and dwindling expertise. Speaking at the press briefing in Abuja, NNPCL's Group Chief Executive Officer, Bayo Julari, admitted the Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna refineries remain far from global standards. He said their products are currently not commercially viable when compared to those from private facilities like the Dangote refinery. The new target signals a new renewed effort by NNPCL to revive Nigeria's refining capacity, reduce import dependence, and address long-standing inefficiencies that have plagued the sector. Analysts say success depends on transparency, technical competence, and credible private sector collaboration. Okay, this is where we now shout, people of God, we've sunk billions in dollars in trying to see what's going to come out of these refineries. And over time, we've also seen that a lot of these monies were just like water poured in baskets. They can't be accounted for right now. The new board of NNPC, when they came up, they said, hey, let's sell these facilities.
Exactly.
Then we had a different chain of thought saying, no, we can't sell. These are national assets.
Okay.
But as we speak right now, the NNPCL, they said, okay, let's see what we can do.
Reforms.
So he's saying that by June, we should have some direct technical partnership. And we can tell the country, okay, for standards, for a fact, this is where we are. This is what we can do. This is who we are able or looking forward to partner with and see if these refineries can work again.
Quite interesting.
Now, let's take it personal. Do you think we should go back this route?
Honestly, we've tried this for how many years? A long time, decades. And it has not come into fruition. And that is why when this new chief came in, he said, let's sell this asset. Let's just sell it and do away with it. But like you said, Senior Advocate of Nigeria said, you can't sell national assets. It belongs to the people. And I said, okay, fine. If you can't sell it, let's reform it. Another idea came in. But my question now is, before we can even take any further step, there is still something that is being almost swept under the carpet: misappropriation. Trillions, larger than the budget, has been swept under the carpet. And we've not even investigated to see where this money went. This money could even fund our next year budget. But we're not talking about that. We are saying, okay, let's leave that alone and let's move. We cannot move. We have to first clean the house before you bring in new equipment. Because if you bring in new equipment, you're bringing it into a dirty house. So, first of all, let's sort that out. Because if you don't sort that out, bring in more partners, we do reforms, we will find ourselves back at square one. And it's just June 2026, a year or thereabout. Secondly, who are the partners? Are they coming from outside Nigeria or within? If it's from within, good. Job creation, expansion, skills, knowledge acquisition, and all that. Who are you partnering with is not the problem. Who is going to oversee this? Because there has to be an oversight committee, independent of the government. Because we all know when government puts their hand into certain things, the outcome is not always 100%. So who are going to be? I would advise an independent partnership, an independent oversight team that will monitor this thing. And if this thing does not go well, what are the consequences? Because there has to be some consequences too. Because we operate in a country whereby people believe that they can get away with anything. So if we know that if this thing doesn't work 2026, heads will roll, then they will sit up. So what are the laid down things put in place to make sure that June 2026 is June 2026? We will not be hearing another thing. Those are some of the things we need to look at. It has to be independent. It has to be thought. And this time around, if we're going to go this route, transparency, audit, review, it has to be made public. The Senate have to be on their toes at this point. For the Senate, I would recommend transparency, audit, review. An open panel should be reviewing this every quarter with the independent team monitoring.
Okay.
And it's a hard ball to sell, but well, if you can sell it, because I feel it should be sold, to private investors in Nigeria, not outside Nigeria.
Okay.
If you can sell it, no problem.
Okay, now let's move forward from where he has stopped. Not go back, not repeat.
You already know where my stand is. I don't know why you are trying to be delicate with me. You know where I stand with NNPC.
Today is the International Day of eradicating, eliminating, stopping
violence against. And for me, anything putting money back into an NNPC refinery is a violence against women, children, and Nigeria as a society. Let me start this way. I was at Luth yesterday, and I went to see the doctor. Thank God it's not critical and it's not terminal. And last week, the doctors were running a skeletal service. But they said, look, the federal government has given us an MOU, and, there's no response. We don't trust the system. And so they are still on strike. And a particular doctor was seeing me because I went to accident and emergency. So if you was sick, you go to accident and emergency to say, okay, this was going on. And they write you a letter. Then you go to the clinic. And so as he was about writing the letter, a nurse came in. We are on strike, and she was and I was looking at her. And when she was done, I said, madam, I know you are on strike. I know you are fighting for your monies, but you received your salary last month. She said, yes. I said, good. Calm down. These are people's.
Did you tell her that what was disturbing you was not on strike?
And I told her, I said, these are people's lives. Do not forget you took an oath. And she said, she cannot die for that. I said, nobody expects you to die for Nigeria, but you took an oath. I said, because when you are in the UK, you work for 14 hours. Your 14 hours, you have a 5-minute break. But you all go to the UK, and you don't sit down. If you try yourself, you'll be sued. But in Nigeria, you can sit down for 20 minutes in an hour that you walk. And she said, yes, and she laughed. And she said, madam, I said, look, I'm exposed. Calm down. I'm here for a reason. And I got my letter.
Okay.
And I
expose
went
us to NNPC.
And then they told us that we couldn't see the doctor. They were
after this whole
because
talk.
Consultants were the only ones around. Profs, consultants, those are the only ones. The regis are the ones on strike. So it's like the middlemen. And they're the ones that do the major work because they clock you, they see you, they go you, take you to the next level. Then it's when it's critical, they call consultants. I said, okay. I said, sugar. Let's add some more sugar. And, and of course, when the cases too are critical, is then the consultant comes in and puts it, few touches and it's sorted.
As we speak right now, is NNPCL critical?
Now, there's a reason why I'm saying this.
Okay.
In the last 25 years, they claim that $25 trillion has been estimated to have been spent on the revamping of refineries that never work. That's when they put them in, the refineries did not work. We are talking of
$25
trillion,
right?
Yes.
Okay, so
now,
it can't be $25 trillion.
That's what the statistics is showing.
No,
as of last year's alone,
we
used 3 billion. Hold on now. As of last, trillion is more than billion now.
Yes, but $1 trillion, our entire economy is not.
They are saying for 25 years, that's military administration or person just administration. Good luck, Jonathan. What you have been using to fix those refineries that we push and start.
It's still not up to that.
Estimated. That's what is estimated. Good. Now it's maybe up to that because as of last year, hold on. As of last year alone, you used 3 billion to rehabilitate the refineries. That one shisha do 3 months. Calm down.
3 billion was
that was last year.
It was not used
to rehabilitate. Uncle. To rehabilitate, they did not even say fix. They said rehabilitate. They did not say the other things they spend money buying because NNPCL still has a budget of things that they still, use to run the refinery. They still buy. Plug don't come out. Screw is not screwing well. The rig is not turning. That's minus. Hold on. That's minus the 3 billion. How much are the doctors asking for? This is the reason why I'm saying. Now, if we are going to do another one again, that's another 3 billion. There's a bit of inflation again. And so that will be more than 3 billion. So let's say another 4 billion again to touch these things up by June. Now, they are talking about transparency. They are promising us that there will be transparency, there will be this, there will be that. I'd said it on this table, that there's nothing the Nigerian can do, because there's a school of thought that claims that the refineries were sold under one administration that was from the South, and that he signed a particular document saying, in fact, it was so hard with the legal tenders that Nigeria cannot get out of it. And that's why Falana talked that, look, we cannot sell an asset. It's not because we cannot sell an asset. That's the claim, that it was sold to a Dutch person, and that the terminologies we signed as Nigerians, we didn't take the proper legal, our proper lawyers there, the brilliant minds that can see through, all those lines.
Where exactly are you coming from?
I'm telling you that there's a school of thought, and that is why we must continue to spend money to refurbish these refineries, and we cannot sell. So guess what? The refineries are a horrible bride with bad manners that we must keep in our house. And we are keeping them at our house at the detriment of education, health, security, food. And so the refineries, hold on, let me be done, baby.
Okay.
The refineries are literally crashing the economy. Look at 3 billion. Imagine if it was put into infrastructure, if it was put into health, if it was put into education.
With
Do
proper
you know
administration.
what we will be doing? Even without proper administration, you will see it. When you walk into Luth, my auntie was admitted at Yaba the other time or so. It was like I entered a private ward. Each person, you just pay a little extra. You have somebody by your bedside. It's like Yankee, so once you do like this, the person is by your side.
That's the private wing or the...
That's the private wing.
Okay.
It was literally as if I was in a private ward. And I was asking myself, and I was saying, because when they are coming to see you, it's not one doctor coming to see you. You have a consultant, you have 4 regis, you have house officers. So if you are well managed, you are more, and of course, no matter the biggest private hospital in Nigeria, once the case becomes critical, they rush you back to government hospitals. So imagine if 2 billion was put into government hospitals, even if they eat money, how much would the doctors eat? How much would the administration eat? So I'm coming, sorry.
Okay.
So NNPC has done Nigeria a disservice. For us to now still look back again and with our hands tied, because this school of thought has claimed there's nothing we are going to do. Our hands are going to be tied, and these people are going to do this. The former president in Nigeria said, if you like, let us put in 20 billion. The refineries will never ever work. It looked like a joke. Here we are.
So we need these refineries to work because we need to sell oil outside to get revenue in hard currency that can fund the health sector that you always
government already
pride yourself
what is going on. Can we put in more effort into private partnerships?
Okay, hold on. So now your take is government don't put government money in these refineries anymore.
Yes.
Okay, good. So government sell these refineries. Is that your take?
For me, it's a white elephant project already. Can we leave them? Can we put in efforts into private government, private-owned refineries?
So what happens to these particular facilities?
This is the bride we have been trying to tell to have manners for the past 25 years. We have invested over $25 trillion.
Are you saying sell it?
There are sometimes, as a parent, when your child has refused to have common sense,
leave
them alone. Leave that refinery for the next 2 years. Yes, let the people that feel that they must milk Nigeria. When there's no milk coming in, and they'll calm down.
I hope you know people draw salaries.
Exactly. Whether it's working or not.
We agree with you. People draw salaries. How many things are they doing? There was a time.
I hope you know whether it's working or not. You still
I agree with you. There was a time during Goodluck Jonathan's time. There was during Alice Mabeke's time. She came out with a report. 90% of the staff in NNPCL, let's not say 90, let's say 70% of the staff that were employed, their jobs were being done by oil servicing companies. So you employ engineers in NNPC. Let's say you employ 10,000 or they have 5,000 engineers who are supposed to be on the rig. They don't go to the rig. Guess who goes to the rig? An oil servicing company. So how am I paying you fat salary?